Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And it says that some of my destinations are not showing. I'm not sure why. Actually, let me just see. Looks like the stream has been deleted. I don't know if you can see me still, but all of my ones on Facebook, for some reason, are not firing. How is that? Okay. I'm in the midst of shifting it. Not wiring, not firing. I don't know if I'm still live, whether you can see me or not. Never had that problem before. But let's just fix it and let's select those options and see if we can go. See if we go. Or whether it's switched me off, see the changes. All right. Am I live still or not? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I can't see. How am I doing I'm still live and 1 minute and 33. Apologize for all I've been eating nuts and all do you know what? Let's just start again. Welcome to Health Freedom Tuesday. Whoop, whoop. It's 2024. The first Health Freedom Tuesday of 2024. However, it happens to be Thursday and you girls still catching up with episodes. I've got one more episode to catch up with for Emotional Freedom Wednesday, and then I can actually talk about Environmental Freedom Thursday because it's actually Thursday. But let's dive into health, balancing health and wealth. For spiritual entrepreneurs, light workers and service-based business owners, which I am one. And part of doing this daily podcast and sharing and talking about health and well-being and wealth and balancing that is because my movement with the Soul Legacy movement, my vision is to improve the health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. In all honesty, and that starts with me and the mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, environmental health, all the healths, right? Because when we go on this journey and we go through our spiritual awakening, right, health can trigger, all of those areas of health can trigger a spiritual awakening. And I believe that it's up to us to figure it out and get help, obviously, if we need it, to figure out what has worked for us as we've gone through this spiritual awakening journey and this path, and then alchemize that and give our gifts back. And so for me, although I'm not like a health practitioner, I'm a qualified coach, but I'm not a health practitioner. I wanted to look after my own health, right? Because I had a vision of when I was 40, I'm now 50. Hey, love, how you doing? Do you know what? Is that Lucy with the rainbows and the orange heart? The podcast wasn't streaming out on Facebook, so I kind of had all kinds of problems, but we're on, we're good. Is that you, Lucy? Happy New Year and eternal love and blessings to you, sis, and all here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So we're talking about Health Freedom Tuesday, right? And balancing our health and wealth, and we're talking about our mental health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our physical health, our social health, our environmental health, our relationships, health with our relationships, health with finances, health with everything. It is indeed awesome. Welcome, welcome. So on a Tuesday for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast and talking about spiritual business success, we get to look back on, although I'm talking about health and it's normally Tuesday, I realize that it's Thursday. I've got a couple of episodes that I'm going to do back to back, or I've been doing back to back until I get up to today, which is Environmental Freedom Thursday. But I want to talk about health from last week, or like from the Tuesday to the Tuesday. How's your health been? How's your physical health been? your emotional health, your social health, your environmental health, your spiritual health, really tuning into the vision that you have, not only the human vision that you have, but the vision that you have to express as you came on this earthly plane. Don't know how old you are, Lucy. Don't know how old, you're watching this on the replay. But I had a vision to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. Mostly our future generation, to be fair. But I think if we get our together, the impact and the legacy of health that we leave on our next generation is going to be better. If not, it's going to be a decline, right? So I've worked in childcare for years and years and years. And I know, especially now, like over the last few years, especially if we don't get a handle on our mental health in particular, we're impacting our next generation. And that saddens me. And we know the impact that mental health has, like our mental health and then the next mental, and how we are raising our kids. Huge. And so that was part of my vision, to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, which sounds grandiose, but I just wanted to do things a little bit at a time. And so I knew that I couldn't do it alone. And so my calling was to work in childcare. So I worked in the childcare field since I was 14, for decades. And then I'm like, I know I can't do that alone. Are you 47? I know I can't do that alone. So as I was reading the book on intentional living yesterday, hearing John C. Maxwell talk about legacy and what's the one sentence that would describe your legacy, right? And when you are living an intentional life and you set the intentions, good intentions are not enough. You need to live intentionally. And he said about his mission is to make a difference to the people that want to make a difference. And I'm like, oh, I love that. So I knew that I couldn't do it alone. So then my calling was like helping professionals, healing professionals, service-based business owners, spiritual entrepreneurs, light workers. So then the ripple effect of every single person that I help, every subscriber, every student, every soul client, then they help 5 people, say, which hopefully more, then there's that movement. There's a movement, that ripple effect. So I know that I'm not here to do it alone. Lucy said, I've had COVID. What recently, and still have the COVID cough, also tennis elbow. Oh, that's still there. Health is wealth. Yes. Though, and I know we all have the capacity to heal ourselves from all. Yeah, you're 47. Thank you for sharing. Is that so? So the health. So for me, when I'm thinking of spiritual business success and, contributing in the world, helping and healing others, doing the most, and then when we let our health go by the wayside, our cup is not full enough to really serve at the highest level and really serve at the deepest level, and really, especially when we experience things, our health issues, as you've said, thank you, and burnout and different things, like paramount is our health, right? And the foundations of our health. So that's why I'm here every single Tuesday, except when it's the holidays and now it's Thursday, to show up. And so Lucid, I'm blocking the blocks of fear to go with the flow. Yes. So emotional health. And I talk about this on the Vision Board Challenge. For those of you who don't know, I've got a spiritual business vision board challenge and a bank 50K in 50 days challenge. And so when we're not looking after our health, or we're not contributing in the world the way we really want to, that impacts our health anyway, and our health and well-being as light workers. We know we're here to birth that in the world. And when we're not receiving the financial freedom to the level of where we can really take care of ourselves and our loved ones, all of that causes a pool of dis-ease in the mind, the body, and soul, right? And so Lucy says, I'm blocking the flow of fear. And the reason why I'll talk about on the next episode, this is hopefully going to be about 20 minutes. So I'll do the emotional freedom. When we are vibrating at the frequency of fear, at the lower vibration, the reason why I do freedom is because we're moving up the emotional scale to freedom, love, joy, empowerment, knowledge, etc. when we're at fear, we're actually causing that dis-ease in the body, and it's just not the best place to sit. Well, we think, oh, well, I'm not unhealthy, I'm fine. But then we're feeling the emotions of the lower vibrational frequencies. That then is going to eventually catch up with us. And usually the fear is about the thoughts that we think about ourselves and the world and our capacity to do whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? And our worthiness and our blah blah. It's not even true. It's not even real. And we get to choose the thoughts that we think, and our feelings, and we can change them. So, the health is massive for me. And one of the ways I love to unpack it without uh really fighting against that, like, is just tapping. Is tapping out that fear and tapping out that whatever it is. And my soul daughter was saying that she had knee pain and she thinks that she's been walking on a fractured knee. And on Friday we'd gone out for cocktails, and she thinks that I said, you were running. And she said, yeah, the doctor and do you know what I mean? Like, she's 21. Like, I wanted to take care of herself. Do you know what I mean? And when we're learning and we've got habits to take care of ourselves, I said, do tapping. She said, tapping? I've told her about this thing a lot of times, and I sent her a video to tap. I don't need to be a health practitioner to know that releasing the energy in our body, we know, and that we go around saying, as light workers, as healers, as spiritual entrepreneurs, as service-based business owners, we're energy, and then we don't take care of our own energy. Lucy says, I see everything is serving us, be it seemingly good or bad or indifferent. I'm healthy and I'm healed, reprogramming the programs as we speak. Yeah. And I call this soul speaking into existence. So thank you for that. I'm going to tap on the cough and the tennis elbow right now. Yes. We'll wait till after the episode. Right. You'll find, usually I'll get on the phone with a soul client or what have you, or whatever session it is. And then what used to happen for me is Abraham Hicks's messages would come through for me. And I'd be on the phone, we'd be in co-creation, and then we'd be off the phone and I'd get a download. And then I would go, I think this is for you. And it would be for them. It would be a message coming through me for them, right? And so when you go to YouTube and you look at something like for the tapping, because I did tapping last week on yeast, right? Because I was like, okay, that's a thing for me. Like that day, that evening, it's gone, and I've not experienced that uncomfortable feeling. I know this is too much, and I didn't choose to share it, but when I say yeast, we know, it's gone. And I was feeling uncomfortable for a while, but I didn't even think the tap, because I was drinking like decaf coffee, and I'm like, let me look up to see whether that could have an impact. Let me look up blah blah blah. Anyway, it's gone, and I'm like, oh, okay, why didn't I do that like weeks ago? On the health, and whatever comes up for me emotionally and physically, usually I will tap on it instantly. Sometimes I forget, but here we are. And I was tapping for my soulmate, and I was tapping for the health, and I just think we are energy. So the balance in the health and the wealth, as we look after ourselves and doing our light work in the world, we want to really look after ourselves. I'm here to support you, and really, like, when we go out and we serve, it can be draining as empaths as well, and having other people's energy and being in other people's energy field, or listening to what's going on for other people, whatever it is. We're naturally empathic and we naturally want to be there. But I'm here to remind you every single Tuesday, really, please be there for yourself. Now, I'll talk about this for tomorrow on Relationship Freedom Friday. But my goal is to be in a relationship, and I want to live to 100. So I want to choose somebody who's on that healthy path. And I was saying, I've got a date on Saturday, and I was explaining where I'm coming from, like who is my match. And so I said, I want to be with somebody. I said to the guy, I want to be with somebody who respects their own health, not only physically, but all of the health, mental health, emotional health, because when we have somebody in our life they're going to be the biggest impact. When I was in my twin flame union, everybody says, oh, you've got a banging body, like you look so good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I felt really super confident. And I tell this story, and I've been telling it, and this is probably one of the last times I'm going to tell it. And he said, and I was like, I love myself, right? That's the goal, right? How was your date on Sunday? Do I want it? Okay, I'll tell you in a second. Right. Okay, I'll tell you now. Right. Okay, 1 minute. So I'll tell you this story, and then I'll tell you how that impacts the choices that I'm making in my dating and healthy relationships. So this goes right. Part of the contribution that I want to make is having a healthy relationship, and that impacts my health. So my ex had said, I said, I love myself. Like I'd done insanity, and I was like, I was in 44, nearly 45. And he's like, that could be perceived as arrogant. Insert the words and the thoughts that we have, right? And I was like, I'm not arrogant. Nobody knows. I'm confident. You're not confident. I'm not. And so in the programming in my subconscious now over the time, like the next couple of years, Iona Meade had never been big in our life. I would always try to put on weight, a barrier. And I'm like, wow. And I couldn't shift it for the life of me. And then when we split, periodically, just for like a couple of weeks or something, can't remember how long for, it just went off my body. And then we got back together, and then it went back on my body. I was like, wow, I've got a picture in a red dress and I look amazing. When we got back together, he's like, oh yeah, you probably need to, you lose a stone. I'm like, are you crazy? Like the confidence or the lack of confidence or the engagement and the situations of people that you hear the 5 closest people to your principle, that's going to impact your health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your mental health, your all the health, right? So my choice of husband, I'm dating for marriage. So the guy that I was talking to when I went out on a date is Lucy saying, how did you date go on Sunday? It was New Year's Eve. It was a no-go. And I was like, oh, we had a connection. Not as much of a connection as the guy that I went out on a date with before, but we still had a connection. We were excited. Well, I'm like, if this is not my husband, I know I'm close. Values, I'm talking about living an intentional life. The intellect, wasn't a match for me. And so Lucy says, I've lost a stone in a week because the diet had changed basically overnight. Wow, releasing it, that health. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel in yourself, right? And I'll talk about weight and stuff. I'll talk about the book that I was just listening to in a second and bring that in as well. So the guy was working out and blah, blah, blah. He had mental health stuff going on. He had a heart attack. He had a pacemaker. He's 41. And I had the fear of, I don't have it now, had the fear of somebody dying on me. Like my mum's had, and her ex-husband had passed on her, like not on her, literally. And I was like, I had that thing because I'd lost so many male figures in my life, right? And so when I was speaking to this guy, I was like more in the love and the compassion for it than the fear. So I know I released something. Anyway, we had a good date. We did end up walking by the beach and stuff. And the mental health stuff, that isn't in alignment with where I am. But I'm like, whatever, it's almost being like obedient to the universe. Like whatever it is, whatever he looks like, whatever my soulmate and my husband looks like, whatever physical form he's in, I'm going to embrace it. That's where I'm at, right? Just trusting who comes into my life. And I was saying that on the Bumble dating app, it was 20 minutes till I signed up, and we were on the phone and we spoke for a week. He was on holiday, blah, blah, blah. Now I walked away from that date, Lucy. I'm really good. I've been wanting to lose this for years. And all of a sudden, boom, I've got it on my vision board, and I've been doing insanity. It's day 4 today. So I'm on point. I feel really good. So listen to this, right? So Lucy said, sorry, he wasn't the one for you, but I'm glad the date, great. I'm glad you had a great date, though more of a friend than I guess. No, because I don't collect friends. Although one guy on Tinder I had connected with, and I was like, I just want to have a conversation with you. You should have seen his message to me. I've got dating for marriage, waiting for the one, soulmate, sex and marriage, the ultimate guide to soulmate attraction, sensual sex, and a magic marriage on my profile. That's what I want to manifest. So I put it out there. So this one guy, we call him Jay, he had messaged me and said, I'm not, did you have this on your profile in the beginning? And I said, no, I'd updated it. And he said, yeah, because if I'd have seen that, then, you know, I wouldn't have not necessarily swiped, but that's not what he was looking for. He's definitely looking for a long-term partner, but doesn't believe in the marriage, blah, 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 blah. His message was so beautiful to me. And it was like, it was so upfront. It's the longest message. I've got it as a screenshot. It's research, right, for the book. And so we kept in contact on Telegram, and I said, look, I'm going on a date. I only speak to one person. I'm going to see how it goes. Then I messaged him and I said, you know what, when I came back off that date and I wasn't speaking to the dude, he was somebody that I wanted to speak to, because intellectually amazing guy, and he had cancer as well. So I was leaning into and the guy that I went on a date with before that had previously had a heart attack. Health issues were there. As I'm 50, so as I'm meeting different people, I know health can be impacted, right? So I said to Jay, look, you've really inspired me. Like, our conversation, I knew that I didn't have it with this guy, but I'm like, well, let's see. Anyway, so Lucy, this is what happens. I've got a date on Saturday, so you know. So I come off the date and I'm like, that's embarrassing. That's just not the story that I even want to tell. What the heck? Universe, you mixed it up once, mix it up again. I'm dating for marriage and I believe that I'm ready for my husband. So I go back on Bumble and I see this guy, we call him G. He's back on there, right? He felt the same. Back on there. It's like, let's delete the messages, start again, drawing board. So I go on Tinder and I do the same thing that I did before to manifest the other guy, the first guy that had gone out on a date, and we had an amazing whole weekend. So I blind swipe. I know you're not supposed to, but I blind swipe. And within an hour, I hadn't even finished my profile and I was back and forth between Tinder and Bumble. Within an hour, this guy's in my inbox that I'm going to have a date with. And the alignment is intelligent is beyond it. I'm like, oh, okay. So the similar things, similar values, all the things that were lacking in that date that were contrast and now evident in this person. And I'm just like, I'm trusting my vision board. This guy has got, I said, you know, have you been married? Blah, 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 you know, because I'm dating for marriage. And he said, yes, he'd been married. I go, okay. And he goes, I got married in Florida. He's British. He got married to an American girl. I was like, okay. And he got married in Florida. So if you know me, I got married in Florida. So I said, oh, did you? And he said, yeah, on the beach. And I said, which one? And he said, Cocoa Beach. I was like, no way. I got married on Cocoa Beach as well. I'm like, what are the chances? Like, within an hour. And he said he was just about to give up on the dating app. And he's just like, one more time. I'm going to swipe one more time. And within an hour, that's it. There's a lot of alignment there. And again, I will share on Relationship Freedom Friday because it's a big one. There's so much to unpack in our conversations and where he's at, where I'm at, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, when you think that something is not working, or like to choose someone because you're lonely, or to choose someone because you've invested a week, it's like, just a week. I'm only investing a week and then it's a date or not. And it's not, and it was New Year's Eve, right? So I was like, the story is, this is what I'm saying to myself. The story is that it's New Year's Eve and I go out on a date. I ended my twin flame union on New Year's Eve. And that is the story that I wanted to have. What is going on? So this was New Year's Eve. And like, we were talking, blah, blah, blah. And he sent me a Happy New Year, blah, 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 blah. So if the date goes right, we just switched out with the person for a more aligned person. Again, I'll talk about it more on Relationship Freedom Friday. And then I will let you know on Saturday. But all of our conversations are filling the, I wouldn't say void, but filling what was not there on the date on Sunday. Either way, all I'm doing is just moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. I missed that as the phone went off. But did my phone go off? Oh, okay. I can't tell all the story again, but the date didn't go well. Well, didn't I had a nice date, but it's like I'm not his person, he's not my person. But all of the things that were lacking in that person, including intelligence, including goals, including ambition, including the vehicle, the guy that swiped on Tinder within an hour of me signing up, fills those. And so we've got a date on Saturday. So I will let you know. He's booked the table. I want my guy to take charge. Do you know what I mean? I want my guy to treat me like a lady. And so quality time is my love language. And so he did the love language test. The last guy that I went on the date on New Year's Eve didn't do it. He's like, well, my thing is da da da. And I'm like, any guy of my husband will do the love languages test because it's huge. Everyone that I date, I say do it. So I shouldn't have even gone on the date, to be fair. But this what he's done, the love languages, and our love languages are so similar. And I think that just choosing wisely is going to bring a healthy relationship. He works out, he does martial arts, he's an accountant, he's got a degree, he's a father, and he's close to his offspring. I've got a love list and a desire list. So when I say no to someone, I know that I'm trusting. I'm not trusting in the moment my emotions pulling me. I'm trusting the love list and the desire list. And he's just ticking so many boxes. And I'm like, wow. But not only is he ticking my boxes, I'm ticking his boxes. So no matter what happens, and I said we both got married on Cocoa Beach. I don't know if you heard that. I was like, have you been married before? Yeah, he got married. He got married to someone as he was dating. He met her off the dating app, and she was in America, and he traveled over to America. I'm like, you did what? And I'm like, wow. So the book on dating for Waiting for the Ones, Soulmates, Sex and Marriage, he actually did that, and instantly in the inbox is like, we should collab on that. And I was like, really? He goes, but we might have to change the title of the book. And I said, why? What to? I love the title. And he said, to the male and the female version. And I'm like, oh, the male and the female version of dating. I'm like, that, just that. So Lucy says, fingers crossed for you for this one. Yeah, I'm waiting for the one, like literally waiting for the one. I'm not going to settle, like nowhere. How many dates have you been on so far? I don't like Tinder or dating sites in general. That's why I'm doing the work for you, so you don't have to do it and I'll do it. So I went on a date. I've got a date. I went on the date on New Year's Eve. I'd gone on a date like about a week and a half before that. And then in the last 2 years since I ended for my twin flame union, I have been on a coffee date when I got to London. It's about 3 months ago, for somebody that I'd talked to like for about a year. And then I was in that soulmate thing. So we'd gone out a couple of times. I'd known him for like 3 years now. And then I dated someone else for like a few weeks. And I instantly, for me, when a guy doesn't want to introduce you to their family or their blah, 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 I'm like, red flag. Like, I'm dating for marriage. So even if you're mentioning, you say your kids want you to meet someone, I'm not saying introduce me to but that hiding and that, I'm like, no. This guy's like, well, would you tell anyone? I said, tell anybody what? I'm telling the whole world that I'm dating. I said, would you tell? And I said, don't ask me to be your girlfriend or whatever unless you're sure, because I'm dating for marriage. So unless you see me as your wife, then the way that I'm going to introduce the next person that I'm with is, this is the man that I intend to marry. So we want to be very sure. So yeah, so far our values are in line, but yeah, we've got to meet. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful dance. I'm enjoying it because I will share in the book. I will share everything, the whole process of the energy of dating, not being attached to, just deleting people that say, hey, sexy legs, hey, wow, hey, blah, blah. Boring. I'm not interested. His conversation intrigues me. And he said, I was like, wow. And people that swipe me always say that they feel my energy first. And I'm like, okay. Just do it like dating sites in general. I know Tinder, I never thought I'd be on. So you only signed up recently to the dating sites. They only seem to want one thing when I was on there briefly. So that's why I say I'm dating for marriage. And I put on my profile, I'm dating for, and I put, so the guy that was stimulating my mind and had an intellectual conversation that I kept in touch with, I said, thank you. He was like, dating apps make me feel a certain type of way. They make me feel worthless. Like, you know, guys have a hard time too. Decent guys have a hard time too. I wouldn't say decent guy. Yeah, decent guy. People that are in a place of conducting themselves in a decent manner, right? So the way that I put myself on the dating app is very clear. So in answer to your question, have I been on the dating apps a while? I'd met my twin flame on the dating app, and we had an almost 4-year relationship, the one that I ended 2 years ago on New Year's Eve, because I just couldn't see myself walking into the new year with him. The guy that I met on Sunday, it's like, can I see you and you see me walking into the new year? No. So that's just a no. I'm not engaging. And so this guy, that's the test for me. And I'm very clear I'm dating for marriage. That can scare some guys away. I don't care. When I'm not like putting it out there. So I haven't been on that many dates because I just filter. But the people that I'm going on the date with, they know that I'm dating for marriage. I'm like, have you been married? Da, 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 blah, blah, blah. So and I said to one person, he was like acting like spiritual, but like I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm spiritual, just trying to trigger me and saying, you know, you need to be open, you need to do blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know, whatever you're saying, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to find somebody that's aligned. He said, well, at this point, it deserves a phone call. And because I'd said about intellectual and stimulating conversation, I'm like, you're trying to sound smart and you're not. And I said, do you want to unmatch? And he said, well, you're asking me a lot of questions and I'm sorry for the rushed answers. And like, they're not rushed answers. They're your real answers that do not align with me. Right. So I was like, this guy triggered or this guy that feels aligned. There's always one person for me on the dating apps that stand out. So I'd gone on the dating apps before I'd met my twin flame when I was single. So I was in a 7.5-year relationship. And before that, I hadn't been on the dating apps. And then I was in the twin flame catalyst. And then we were on the dating app and he lived opposite me and liked me for like 10 years or something, or 5 years or whatever. I didn't know. And then I met my ex on there. And then when I've come off, I've been on there, on, off, on, off. So yeah, I've been on them a bit, but with conducting myself so I don't get those pictures or what have you, and only staying in my lane and only speaking to people that feel aligned. I don't talk to everyone. I'm not. Lucy said, for me, it has been a mental, physical, and emotional and spiritual connection. Sorry. For me, it has to be a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual connection for me, as well as chemistry, attraction. And no, I'm not asking too much, as know what I want. Never been with anyone that's right for me so far. Yeah. And so I'm asking for the 7 C's, I call them. They're going to be the foundations. And this guy's like, you know, you've got to compromise, because if you're not willing to compromise, not compromise my values, but just compromise in a relationship, like one person wants one thing, the other person wants another thing. And I'm like, okay, in order to have a healthy relationship, it's got to be your idea, and what do we have that agreement on? Not compromising and finding that middle ground. Not compromising is in your own integrity or your own values. And so he's helping me. And so the 7 C's are connection, our calling in life. So the other guy that I went on the date with on New Year's Eve, the G, he was like, he doesn't like his job. And he hasn't got really anywhere that he's going with his life in terms of, and so all of the 7 freedoms, I'm like health, our environment, our spiritual, he's not spiritual, financial. I want to live in a barn conversion. He wants to live in a bungalow. And he's like, well, why do you want a 4-bedroom minimum barn conversion? I'm like, because a 2 bedrooms not enough. And so he thought I was crazy. and he isn't in alignment with it, and he knew that he wouldn't be able to contribute to that life. So I'm like, I'm not settling. So when one person gives you like the contrast, you know that you're on track to manifest anyway. So connection, the calling in life, connection, chemistry, communication, consciousness, and commitment. Is that 7? Is that 6 or 7? So those are the incompatibility. So those are the things that I'm going on. I'm not just doing this on a whim and being dragged along emotionally. And so if we don't have the connection, so we didn't have the chemistry in person. So if we don't have that chemistry, we don't have that consciousness and mindset, that wasn't there. Our beliefs and our values, all these 7 C's is what I'm going to be putting in my book, and what I'm going to be focusing on the dating app, that where we have, instead of just having the profiles where there's superficial stuff, it's stuff that you were always asking. You ask over and over again to everyone. I want it like a marriage CV in different cultures. They have, when they have like an arranged marriage, this is where I got the idea from, like an arranged marriage. And they have like a CV now. It's not just, oh, we'll marry this person. It's like, okay, well, these are the people that I think would be good for you. Have a look at their CV, then meet and see if there's chemistry and see if there's bonding. That's how it works now. I don't know for but a friend of mine that I was talking to from school. And so I was like, that's what I want. Not an arranged marriage, but as in does this make sense on paper? Then does this make sense in the physical? And I'm not settling. So no, you're not asking for too much. And I haven't found somebody who is all of those things. But I was saying to one of my soul sisters on Telegram, she's been on this journey with me for years and in this dating, and she said, oh my gosh, where's this guy come from? I said, I know, but we'll see in person. Was your twin flame your real twin flame? Yes. I take it not, as you are no longer. Yes, he was. And so the twin flame union, I thought that if you saw our story and heard our story, I'm not going to talk about it all now, but I will on Relationship Freedom Friday. I will on Friday. If you're on Friday, I'll tell you the whole journey and the synchronicities and the guidance and the if it wasn't for my twin flame, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now in the way that I'm doing it. And so, yeah, and I thought that the twin flame union was supposed to last forever, and it can, but it isn't always that way. And people, when we met, people in his family and his sister was like, she is your spiritual partner. He had no clue. But what we did have was a connection before we met, and we had a connection. As soon as we locked eyes, it was soul recognition. Our voice as well on the phone. It's just so much. I'm going to talk about it all on my second channel, because it's just been such an amazing journey. But now I'm looking, and that it helps you evolve and it helps you grow, right? And that trigger. But now I'm looking for my soulmate and my husband. Not my twin flame. He's married now. Runner or chaser scenario. I'm more of the runner. And he came back. And he said, if there's a 1% chance that, we could be together, would you take it? I'd met a soulmate connection, and I was like, he said 1%, and I have to do it. So we did it, and it didn't work. Regardless of what our soul is, for me, is here, having a healthy relationship, so bringing it back to health, regardless, and we grew and he grew and all the things, regardless, I want it to work in the physical. No matter where you've got that soul, I want to have the similar values, that consciousness, that communication, that blah, blah, blah. So do I have to be with my twin flame to be in a happy, healthy relationship? No. It just, we never argued. It was almost 4 years, and I could have been in it still. I just chose not to be. I'm like, the vision that you have for your life, and it felt amazing, and we both thought it would be forever, but I came out of it because it just wasn't, where I wanted to take the direction of my life. So I came across this book, the 7 principles for making a marriage work. When I couldn't see the vision of us being married and being together and being happy, I'm out. So that's where I'm at. And so for me, I want to find the life partner and the soulmate that I actually want to spend days with, that I actually want to work out with. This guy does the working out. It's like, we can work out together. I said about I wanted to find somebody that works from home, that's got that lifestyle, our calling. My twin flame and I, our calling is very, very different. He did come on board with the business a little bit, but it just wasn't him. He didn't feel comfortable. And I'm like, I want to travel. I want to have that freedom. I want to have the life now, not wait. So this guy said, oh, I'm at home. I'm working at home. Oh, I said, oh, do you work at home often? He's like, yeah, I work at home 3 days a week. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, so if we went away for the weekend, technically, I'll just take my laptop and work from anywhere. I will take that any day, other than somebody working nights. My twin flame, he was working nights. And I felt like I was single. I felt like I was at home alone. Yes, he could change his job, but didn't want to. So I'm like, I don't give a rat's whatever it is. The compatibility, the consciousness, and the communication has got to work for me. So yes, there's twin flame dynamics. Yes, there's soulmate. Yes, there's blah, blah, blah. For me, it's got to work. It's got to tick those boxes. Is what I desire. He gave me enough contrast to know what I do want. So yeah, all the things. It's just, I thought that we would be together. So when I came back online after helping and healing myself first from my son passing, he came back online and everybody loved us as a couple. People, like, you could see how shy he was. We did interviews and stuff together, and we had a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm on this journey to tell that as well. So I've just digressed to all the things, but having a business and contributing in life for me and being a light worker, I know that that's part of my light work, because I know that my audience, my soul tribe, want to have those relationships where they can grow together, don't want to settle, and just don't even necessarily believe that there's somebody even out there. So my twin flame, my students and staff would say, is restored my faith in men. Or like when I was working with my students and my soul clients, with the women, their guys were like, what is she doing? Because they'd transformed so much. So couples started to come into my world, and then we would coach. And so I know that's part of my purpose. Hang on. Okay. So Lucy said I had two twin flame connections, although we never properly met. So the twin flame catalyst that lived across the road for me, that was short-lived, and it just burnt up, and I'll tell all that as well. Although we never properly met, the first one and the second one is still ongoing, but both taught me so much about self-love, in the different areas. And I'm going to get people on to tell their stories on the channel as well. Self-love in different ways, so there's no loss. And the second guy taught me not to have expectations and to be too much, because I told him exactly how I felt, but I think it has a way out and scares him off. I'm just doing me now and flowing with it, and just concentrating on my life. It will happen if it's meant to, and I naturally feel the divine. Sorry about the essay. No, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. That's perfect. And that's what I want to do. I want to have those conversations, because the partnership that we're in is massive. And I tell you, that essay right there that you've just shared, I was doing that this morning with the guy. We'll call him B. We'll call him B, right? And so I got up later, and health as well. I'm really focusing on my health, working out. He works out. I was like, I never want to have somebody tell me that they desire me and I don't desire them back, because that's what happened in my twin flame union. And he was like, oh, well, you could be seen as arrogant for loving my body. And I was like, dude, all of that stuff, like, just was funky. It was there for me to learn. And so I was reflecting. So B had sent me a message this morning at like 9, and I didn't respond till after 10. It's like, are you cool? And I was like, yeah. And I was just reflecting. I sent essay after essay after essay. And I said, sorry about the essays. I just must be in a reflecting mode, because I was visualizing the wedding. And I'm like, we're going to have a date. This is where I'm going. If you don't see yourself as part of that, or to bring that, don't ask me out. Don't ask me to blah, blah, blah. Because there's a connection there to the point where it's at the same pace. So when you're saying about the twin flame and the connection, for me, in all of mine, I've been lucky enough to have it be the same. Have it be, they know it and I know it. And this is the third, and it's like he knows it and I know it. There's something, but we've got to meet, right? And I don't think that the physical is souls. It's just trusting that. So I will let you know. And I think that when there is the pace that is equal, excuse me, that's when you know that it's something to move forward. That's what feels healthy to me. And I get my twin flame, he's married, right? And I imagine that he's happily married. If he thinks that, you know, you don't have to do any work, then, you know, that will be his third time as well. So and the guy B, that if we, you know, are in any kind of relationship and moving forward, that would be his third time as well. So there's so many synchronicities, but you know, who we choose, I think really, really matters. When we do our vision board, and we really focus on the health, it matters. Okay, I'm going to read this message and then I'm going to do Emotional Freedom Wednesday. Yeah, it seemed to be one-sided with the second guy in the end, although he gave me very mixed signals exactly at the start. Yeah, I can't help the way I feel about him, but I've eased off totally now because he's with another woman and I think they are having a baby, or we will always be friends anyway. As he's a soul brother, I see him as that as now. I'm open to others now. So when I was talking about the 7 C's as like, as our calling aligned, what we're here to do, our purpose in life, lots of people say that if you are not awakened to your purpose and then you get awakened and you're in the wrong relationship, it's going to cause friction. Our connection, our chemistry, notice it's ours, it's not just one. Our communication, our consciousness, our compatibility, and our commitment, regardless of whatever soul's experience we're here to have, if I don't have those 7 C's, I'm not doing it. So when you think, if you looked at those 7 C's, Lucy, and you thought, well, our communication isn't off, our consciousness, our beliefs are not off, our vision for our future is not even together, our blah, 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 our compatibility is off, then you would stop looking at that person to be the person that you want to spend your life with. You'd find somebody that's more aligned. Do you know what I mean? Because when I say waiting for the one, is the one that we move forward with, not just one person. We know that, right? There's multiple people, souls that we could move forward with in this lifetime. I want to move forward with a soul that feels in alignment with my soul of where I'm at, and doesn't just cause me friction, doesn't just cause me triggers in growth. Yes, I've been through that and we need it. But I actually want to I just want to make happy memories. I want to leave my legacy. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you've ever written a love list. I have mine. I don't know. It's not. It's in my other Soul Legacy journal. And I was reading through it today and I read through it the fastest that I've ever read through it. And it was 2 years ago on the 17th of January that I wrote it. So 2 years that I've been on the journey of testing, being on the sites, not being on the sites, speaking to people, not speaking to people, going on dates, not going on dates, right? And the soulmate connection that I had for over the 3 years, I had to say no. I'm like, you're not the person that I can write this book with. You're not the person that I can write this chapter with. Yes, we have a connection. He feels it. He keeps coming back. When he thinks about me, he will manifest in my life. Like he just shows up. And he said, Happy New Year. I'm like, no, I just deleted it. I didn't respond this time. I might have to say no to one thing in order to let something else in. So again, we'll see on Saturday what that is, but I know that I feel close. But this guy, he speaks the way that I speak, and I'm like, he speaks the way that I speak, and I'm like, what on earth? It is beautiful. We just enjoy the dance. Like you say, you're concentrating on you now, concentrating on that growth. The 7 freedoms is something that I will be talking about for relationships, talking about your contribution, talking about your own health, your own emotions, your vision for your environment, your vision for your relationships, your vision with your spirituality and your finances. So when we bring that to relationships, because how many relationships end in divorce, right? I know that I'm here to birth that as well because of the reaction that I had from my students, where I think it was about maybe 5, 6 of my students had their partners like come on board and be interested, or just be interested, even not coming to the call. There was definitely 5 that were interested, and a few came to the call. So I was like, oh, I know that my guy is there to do the male version. And so when this guy's like, yeah, we should collaborate, we'll do the female version, and he's already met his ex-wife on the dating app, so he's qualified. Who said to me, he has everything I'm looking for in a man, and there were so many synchronicities. I'm still in the process of releasing and letting go. I thought I'm done this for a while. I thought I'd done this for a while, but he keeps coming back. Yeah, so I've got a soulmate that keeps coming back. I'm like, nah, you're not the one. Our communication's off into my life and heart. This is what happened with the other as well. I've just got to focus on me and let the universe work its magic. Yeah, in divine timing. And if he's with somebody and he's got a baby and blah, blah, blah. If you look at, I'm going to lay out in the book, but if you look at the 7 C's and you look at the vision for your life, and he doesn't have a similar vision, that's not the person that you're supposed to be with at this time. End of. He's moved on, you can move on. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it can be years. I've seen in the spiritual community where people like, he won't do this, she won't do that, and they're married to somebody else, and I'm like, I don't even know how long I've got on this earthly plane, so I'm damn sure I'm not going to waste it saying, oh well, you could be one day. I'm like, you do you, boo. Like, no, it's been 2 years and I've been dating and I've been trying it on and taking it off, trying it on and taking it off. I won't settle, but I believe that the one when I'm waiting for my one is the one that I'm going to move forward with. That's my one. That's my person. Do you know what I mean? So the healthy relationships and the health of my business and the health of is who I want to spend my life with every single day. Right. And so hopefully the 7 freedoms will help you and support you. I'm going to hop off this one because it's like 53 minutes. Did I pull this one? Okay, I pulled this card. Joan of Arc, voice of truth, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. I think that is for you. It's for me as well. And what I want to do is invite you to do the vision board. Lucy, I don't know if you've done the vision board for all areas of your life. And when thank you. And when you're in alignment with that, then so the reason why we spent so much time on talking about relationships is it impacts your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your environmental health, your social health, your spiritual. It impacts everything. It did for me. Did he say Joan of Arc? Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. Yes, persecution from others, that judgment or that what have you, speak your truth. Yeah, it's a strong card. I would read. I'm not going to read the whole inside and the extended message because I've got emotional freedom to do and then environmental freedom to catch up on. So thank you. And again, I'll talk about Relationship Freedom Friday again, and bring that essence in because I think it's really important. And if we're worrying again, or if we're in a place where, we feel lonely or we feel, that's lowering our vibration, it's lowering our vibration. And so that's why I focus on all of the 7 freedoms. It's not in isolation, absolutely impacts our health. And Lucy said, that's crazy. I'm going to be working in this as it's been it's been a block. Past life trauma and persecution. What cards are they? Oh, it's Keepers of the Light, love. It's Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. Oracle card deck. Kyle Gray, there's his name. So it was Joan of Arc. The Joan of Arc card. Okay. So that's, yeah, it's huge, huge. That's why I pull one every single day, because I'm just like, it just gives us that essence. Ah, lovely. Like this deck. Thanks, sis. You're welcome. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. Hey, love. Hey, Yaz. How you doing? I am going to hop off this live in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to do the emotional freedom one. Yeah, I'm going to do the emotional freedom one. I just listened to your YouTube at the bus stop. Did you? Yes! That is so funny. Thank you for joining me. I love that. See, work from anywhere, reach anyone, anywhere. At the bus stop. Are you still at the bus stop? That is hilarious. Listening to me at the bus stop. What, this episode or a different one? That is hilarious. Absolutely. Thank you. Lucy says, all your wise words once again. Much love and have a good day again. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate that. So, and I say, I would take credit for the wise words, but we know it flows through us. And I don't script it, obviously. I just go on my personal experience and what I've done, and I just share the journey. And you guys come and you share your journey. Different. I commented, did you? I love that. Do you know what? Right? So this is Health Freedom Tuesday. Oh, it's Thursday because I haven't been live for a few days. Because I just had some time off and I was just chilling and I was connecting and doing all the things. It's just been really beautiful. So just being here and being present with you guys just absolutely lights me up. Thank you for commenting, though. So while I'm on one and then the next one, and hopefully you can see the power of just showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. And again, this is health freedom. And because Lucy was here, we've been diving into actually not only our mental health, our emotional health, our physical health, our spiritual health, our all the health, right? Not just on business, but on relationships, right? And it goes to our health and our environment, and it goes to our health and our spiritual, and it goes to our health and our finances. And so every week is just a different, it's just the same topic, but the conversation plays out whether I'm solo or whether I'm with you guys. And that just really makes a difference to me. That says you're everywhere all at once. Ta-da! Sparkly. We got this, ladies. I love you. So again, guys, do your vision boards, right? Pair up, do your vision boards, post them in the group, and let me know what your health freedom looks like. And when you're thinking of health freedom, think of the health of your business, the health of your health, the health of your emotions, the health of your environment, the health of your relationships, the health of your spiritual connection, and the health of your finances. That is what that spiritual business vision board is for. It's not just about business. It's about balancing that life, work, and lifestyle, right? And I know that relationships have a massive impact. Massive, massive, massive. So come to the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, the Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. If you haven't got the book yet, grab the book. Yes, I know you've got the book. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited to see a picture. Lucy, if you haven't got the book, read the book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch. A Soul-Guided Influencer's Compass to leverage your Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. Because it's lifestyle. That's what we really want. Yes, we want to make a difference in the world, but we want to be looking after our health and our emotions and our relationships and our spiritual connection and our finances, right? It's not healthy to just focus on one thing. And we've all done it, like 25 hours a day that we work and stuff. Where is the video on the vision board, Iona? Is that you, Lucy? Can I PM you? No, you can go to, thank you. You can go to in on Facebook. If you go to if you type in spiritual business vision board, and the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, it'll come up, and it's a Facebook group, and you can request to join it. I think you requested to join it. Actually, do you know what? I think you've requested to join it. I haven't let people in over the holidays. I think you requested, Lucy, saying that. I think you requested before the new year. And then my vision board challenge is on my YouTube channel, which if you go to @Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona, just do So just type in my name on YouTube and it'll come up. And it's in a playlist. If you scroll down on the playlist, if you're on a desktop or a tablet or something, or a laptop, you can see it more. But if you're on a mobile, if you keep scrolling down, it will have Vision Board 2024, Vision Board Party, Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. And so it will say 2024 because it's for 2024. And I teach all of these 7 freedoms. And then this journaling process and this live makes more sense because we've got the vision of freedom and our value of freedom, and then this helps you to raise your vibration. Yasmin says, I took a picture. Where do I share it? On your personal profile and tag me if that's okay. Yes, I did. Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah, you did. And I haven't there's a few people actually. Sorry, guys. I scrolled a lot. On what did you scroll a lot? I can't. Yes. What did you scroll on? I took a picture. Where do I share it? Please do share it. That'd be amazing. And tag me, and then I'll share it out to my groups because I want to get this into as many hands as possible because it's going to help. Lucy, I will. I'll let you in, and I'll tag you in the group. Okay, I will tag you. So you've got dancing and you what have you. Thank you for the comment. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to do Emotional Freedom Wednesday in about 10 minutes. So if you see me going live, it's because it's Environmental Freedom Thursday and I want to catch up. So come to the masterclass, do the vision board, share it, buddy up. When you do the vision board, what I want you to do is spend your vibrational money voucher with me as part of the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. I'm not going to go into it now because it's nearly an hour now on here. But you want to spend your vibrational money voucher. And I spent my vibrational money on my wedding, right? And my wedding in the Maldives. And it was lit. It was amazing. That's why I spent my vibration. I've got my soulmate and my husband on my vision board. The symbol of it, my king, right? I spent my vibrational money voucher on my vision, on my wedding. He got married. Oh, Yaz, I've got to tell you, like, yeah, he's already been married. The guy that I'm going to go on the date with, he's been married and he got married on the same beach as me. So I messaged him today and I said, look, I'm doing my vision board visioning over here. We're going to go on a date. Would you, he'd be open to being married again because I've already stated that I'm dating for marriage. But I'm like, would you get married on the beach again? Because I don't want to be like a crazy lady visualizing. He's like, yeah, you know, I would absolutely get married to the right person, da da blah blah, and we're aligned and da da da. I'm not going out on a date with someone who does not see me as his wife. That's an absolute no for me. Search YouTube, Iona Meade. Yeah, awesome. You searched as well. Okay, great. Thank you, Iona. You're welcome. It is clips with pictures of what you want to manifest. Yes. So I've got what I teach you on the Vision Board Challenge is to get clear on all of what I speak on here, but create a video montage. You can do photos as well, but your video, get all your photos in Canva. You can create a video montage and put music to it. When you upload it on YouTube, you can put music to it and play it. Mine's 30 seconds. Play it daily. I haven't even actually been playing mine daily. So like, it's fine. You don't have to be completely attached to it, but live it. So the things that are on my vision board, I'm living now. I'm on day 4 of insanity. You'll see me on my vision board challenge, on my vision board like this. See the muscles, see the guns? They're going to get bigger, right? I'm doing insanity. Hey, they look all right. You know what I mean? I want to be hench. I want to feel great. I want that beach body again. My daughter's 21 and I'm still like, I've got a baby belly. It's all going. She's nearly 21. And the vision board teaching, it's a 7-day teaching. It's a 7-day challenge for you to get to the end. So it's in the group and it's also on my YouTube channel. It's a YouTube challenge. You know how like you see people doing Facebook challenges? I do a YouTube challenge. It's completely free. And for my students that move forward with me, I get them to go back and do this vision board challenge because all of my work begins with your vision. Yasmin says, I was just listening to that wedding vision. Were you on were you on me talking about it? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just going to be amazing. Lucy says, I know what it is. I saw another sister did oh, you did it on her channel. She did it on her channel. There's loads of vision board on their channel, but nobody's doing the vision board in the way that I teach it. No, I know that nobody's doing a vision board in the way that I teach it, because people tell me, oh my gosh, I've never seen a vision board being taught like that. So it's not just pictures on a cork board. It's in alignment with the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, and it's an alignment with us journaling to manifest it and being on point. Most people will share about a vision board, then that's it. So all of my teachings are based on that vision. I just heard this, LOL. Oh, okay. How are you doing? Please, can you be friends? No. Don't spam me, because I can't be doing with it. Don't inbox me. Is yours on there as an example? Yeah, my vision boards are on there as an example as well, love. On YouTube. Yes, my video montage is on YouTube. It's in the playlist. So I've got Contribution Freedom Monday is day 1, Health Freedom is day 2, Emotional Freedom day 3, Environmental Freedom day 4, Relationship Freedom day 5. So it goes in alignment with the days of the week. Spiritual Freedom for day 7, Spiritual Freedom for day 6, Financial Freedom for day 7. And then I've got my July vision board and my December vision board, and then I'll do it live again next December. So we're sharing as we go, as we're manifesting in the group. Okay, like, can you get off my thing, please? Stop it. Don't be. Yes, it's free. Yeah, it's free. Is that Lucy? Yeah, it's free. It's a 7-day training. It's free. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So this makes more sense, the journaling, when you go. And so the book of how you want to contribute in the world, this was on my vision board, right? This was on my vision board. So everything that I manifest goes on a vision board first. When I came online, first ever as a coach, I had makeyourownvisionboard.com back in 2008-9. I was a vision and life purpose business coach, still talking about the same thing. Yeah, I just love vision board. Look, dude, why is let me just stop commenting on my stuff. Behave. So thank you so much. That is it for this. I'm going to go and do emotional freedom on the emotional scale, and that is like how we feel about our health, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our body. One of the things that I want to mention really quick before I jump off was the book that I listened to today. So every day I'll listen to a book. You'll see on my vision boards I've got education on there, right? Knowledge. And it was Sleep Smarter. My sleep has just been so amazing. Like, literally, I fell back asleep today. I didn't get up till like after 10. That's like almost unheard of for me. And I've just been sleeping so sound. And one of the things that I heard on the Sleep Smarter, it's a book by Sean Stevenson. And he says, when we have weight, because my goal is to like release it. I'm pretty good now anyway, but I did put on some, like I'm saying about my twin flame. Have a great evening, guys. So much love. You're welcome. And you too. And so when he says that when you have weight on you, that when you're eating a meal, the cortisol level and the stress hormone actually raises. And so to have extra weight on you is like detrimental to your health. I'm like, what? Why are we not told these things? So we're not just losing weight, in the lockdown when we all did the most and we all did all the things, it's impacting our health. And so for me, the vision of health and physical health and all the rest of it and doing my insanity is going to help me so much and help me with my vision to live to 100 and 101. So that is my vision. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to do Emotional Freedom Wednesday next. And then hopefully I'll have enough time to do Environmental Freedom Thursday as well. So thank you so much for spending this time. Lucy, you're amazing. Yaz, thank you. And everyone else who's watching on the replay, hopefully you found it of value. Please do share this out, because I know that it's there, not just for me. It's for you guys as well. Subscribe to the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast. Again, share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Big love, and be blessed in your purpose. I think that's Lucy Still. I'm living to 1,000. What are you talking about? So I'm saying to this guy, like, my goal's to live to 100. He's like, wow. And I said, my mum's mum to live to 101. So when I was 40 and she was 100, I was like, well, I could have another 60 years in me. Yeah. I've done 10. 1,000. Exactly. So we want to be taking care of our health, and I want to make those memories with all the people that, you know, really resonate with my soul. So if I can support you in your health and your contribution, and your financial freedom and your relationships, oh man, my work here is done. That's legacy. All right, I shall see you for Emotional Freedom Wednesday again. Thank you. Big love. Take care.